Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shathir from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And this one is on the Common Sense Show with Dave Hodges. And the title alone should resonate within you about the serious financial crisis that's going on here in Babylon the Snake. And it says 82% of Americans cannot afford a $500 repair bill for a house, and I'm sure that he wants to say or car. So 82% of Americans cannot afford a $500 repair bill for a house or car. So let's do some quick guesstimation math right here. All right, most statistics say that America has a population of 350 million. Okay, so looking at this title, it's basically saying, if you want to look at it another way, basically only 20% of the American populace has the financial means to do the things that they need to do. So let's do the math. What is 10% of 350 million? That's 35 million, okay? Then you multiply that times 2, you get 70 million. So 70 million people out of 350 million people have the means to do the thing. So basically talking about what? 280 million people in the United States don't have money for any type of emergencies whatsoever. If something breaks down, they cannot afford it. Like I said, that just goes to show you the serious financial straits that this country is in. And we're going to let Dave speak on a little bit of this, and we'll get some scripture.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Hodges, host of the Common Sense Show. We are the show that is freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. Really glad to be with you. Thanks so much for joining us. We really have a mini but important event to talk about. Recent surveys taken of Americans. Oh boy, this is so distressing. I'm going to put that back. I want to tell you, first of all, that we're brought to you by Backup Solar Bank. And it's this device right here. It's solar. Wow. Family has one of these Backup Solar. 82% of Americans
hold on.
Could not afford a Go to the description box, click on the link. Well, a recent survey taken said that 82% of Americans could not afford a $500 repair bill either to their car or to their house. Do you understand the precipice of dilapidation? Is that too big a term? Not for you guys, but I think for the average liberal it is. Dilapidation, falling into disrepair. We are on the precipice of driving down neighborhoods, and you think you're near Sanford and Son. Remember that old show from the 70s? Well, maybe not, but a junkyard, a ghetto, can't fix the roof, can't fix the siding, house is not painted. And not to mention safety. And what about rodents? What if you get ants and rats and termites? Exactly. This is a major problem. Forget the car. You need the car to get to work. Now, where I live, there's no public transportation. So what I'm telling you clearly is this, is that we come back to the same point. Remember, I said many roads to this conclusion. When they come up with the lockdown procedures that are destroying America economically, should we not include, besides politicians that are making all these decisions, medical people, right? Epidemiologists, psychologists to deal with the emotional, psychosocial effects, as well as economists. So we could find a blended approach that works for as many people as possible. Hello? How many times have I said this in the last 2 days? Every problem we have emanates from the same source: lack of cooperation, lack of a multidisciplinary faction in making these decisions that are lorded over us. It's time, folks. It's time that we make demands of our politicians that they act responsibly. Ducey and Newsom and Cuomo, they can no longer be allowed to reign over us without a multidisciplinary approach that's approved by the state legislature. By the way, the courts have said that, not Dave Hodges, the Supreme Court of Michigan, the Superior Court of California. How many times do we have to see it for these people just to ignore the court rulings? And all we're asking for is a blended approach that takes all areas into account. It's like the agenda of some of these people is to punish, not collaborate. And if you sense that from your local politician, then why are they still in office? Why haven't they been recalled and taken out? Exactly. That's it for the Common Sense Show. Check out thecommonsenseshow.tv.
And there you have it. And he's right. People who don't have money to fix these things, everything's just going to go by the wayside. Because you have to remember, people are sacrificing their car, sacrificing certain things with their house, okay, so they can provide themselves and their children with food. Because what people are failing to realize is that this whole economy is switching over to a new paradigm where you're just going to have the rich and you're just going to have the poor. And many people are starting to realize that because the money has shifted from the lower and the middle class to the rich. That's why the scripture says that we're going to get, there was two good ones in Ecclesiastes. It says Ecclesiastes 7:12. And it says, for wisdom is a defense and money is a defense. But the excellence of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Okay, and it says money is a defense. Because you have to think, when you have money, as it says in Ecclesiastes 10:19, a feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things. And that's how money is a strong defense, because it solves all the material needs that a man could possibly have. No, I said material things, not spiritual things. Okay? You walk and you fall off the curb and break your ankle. If you got money, you most likely have really good insurance, or you could go to a hospital and everybody's going to give you the best of care. Okay? If you're making money and your car breaks down and they're talking about they're going to need some time because something's going bad with your engine, if you got the money, you can fix your car. All right, your boss decides to be a jerk to you and they tell you, well, maybe you need some time off from the job. We're not going to pay you. If you got money, you can take the blow for a little bit, so on and so forth. Okay? Money is a strong defense, and it answers all material things. And see, when people don't have money to do these things, it puts them in a situation of desperation. And that's why we have the current situation that we have here in America, where the financial infrastructure is completely broken. So far broken to the point where it's not going to come back. And that's why we have Jeremiah 51 and 7. And it says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. And why is Babylon not healed? Because the financial infrastructure, in this case, what we're talking about, there's many other things, but we're talking about the financial infrastructure. All right, the financial infrastructure is completely broken. It was based on fractional reserve lending. Go read the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. It explains all of this. When you have a system that's based on debt, okay, fiat currency, okay, not based on anything but because you just believe in it, it's only going to be a matter of time before the system fails. And then on top of that, you put greedy men in control who only want to see their few comrades in the circle continue to rise while the majority struggle. You're going to have a situation where you're going to have a financial system that can't be healed. It doesn't matter how much quantitative easing you want to do. Hell, Creepy Joe said if he gets in, he might do another quantitative easing. And we've already had, what, Q4, QE4? So this is more debt on top of more debt on top of more debt, all right, which is decreasing the value of the dollar that much more. And it says, forsake her and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth into the heaven and is lifted up even into the skies. Right. Because the destruction of this current financial system is going to lead way to the chip. Because when this greenback fails, they're going to issue in the digital currency. That's why you see Bitcoin and all these other cryptocurrencies blowing up. Because, as I said before, there's a huge shift in the way that money and business is going to operate here in America. And many of the jobs and many of the old ways of making money will never, ever come back. And once they finally get this country to a point where things can be placed digitally, I mean everything, but in this case money, guess how they're going to track your money? With the chip. The RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. And if you take that chip, you're done. That's how that judgment is going to come here. Because when the elites finally do that, they're going to feel that their new world order is going to be complete. But that's when the Lord is going to come in and interrupt their enterprise. So that's all I wanted to say on this. I hope you all were edified. Until the next time, we're going to say shalom.